up, guys? Tambo here with your weekly core report. It's Thanksgiving week, and we've got plenty of members giving thanks for their big hits. Let's get to the winners. Our NHL content has been on fire lately. Nadesify led the way with his recent core helping him hit for over 1K. Mangone's core helped MComDog42 win 2K in NHL, and M. Levangie used the NHL playbook and premium Discord chat to ship for $20,000. In PGA, Alex used our free weekly PGA show to hit for 1K, while Jaywalkin shipped for $10,000. Just a reminder that a Rumpier Sports membership gets you all sports for one price, including our premium World Cup content. And for Thanksgiving week, we've got a special deal to get you on board. For a limited time only, sign up for a Rumpier Sports membership using the promo code TURKEY50 and knock 50% off your first payment on a monthly subscription. This includes SaberSim packages. You can't beat this deal, so make sure to sign up now. Our NBA and NFL content stayed hot this week. Reminder to sign up to our YouTube page to access all of our great free content streamed daily. In the NBA streets, Magic Muffin hit for 2K, while our guy Mangone continued to dominate Saturday NBA slates with a 9K winner. In NFL, I shipped 2 King of the Beach final seats, along with K. Phallic, who landed one too. RPS member DGAS33 will be joining us in San Diego after securing a seat of her own. Brandon Sports hit for 3K in NFL. Uncle Dunkle joined in with a 14K win. Statler shipped for 17K in NFL Showdown, and JSU joined him with a 17K Showdown win too. Congrats again to all our winners. If you want to be featured in our core report, drop your winning lineup in our Members Never Win channel in our premium Discord. If you're not a member, join now. You won't find a better value with all sports included for one low price. Once again, use the promo code TURKEY50 to knock 50% off your first payment on a monthly subscription. SaberSim add-on plans qualify for the discount too, so take advantage for a limited time while this deal lasts. While you're watching, hit that like button now. Remember, if you're not winning with us, you're watching us win. Until next time, let's keep running pure.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rumpier Sports Showdown show. We got a showdown tonight. We got my Packers versus Simon, our producers, Eagles. Should be a fun time. I've been a little lukewarm on the Packers, but I don't know. Maybe I'll give you some interesting takes today on them. I know Simon's got some takes on the Eagles. We'll have to share a little bit of what he's thinking that we talked about pre-show. We got Kurt over here. He's eating cookies. He's got a little bit of it's not a Christmas sweater, but close.
Oh, it is. It's Christmas season, baby.
All right. Christmas sweater going on. We got Megan. She's over here. The Commanders. I don't even know how they did, to be honest. Did they even win their game?
They just ran the whole. It was an ugly game to watch, but they won. Yes.
Oh, they did win that game. Okay,
they did. They did.
I was like, that was
interception at the end sealed it. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't care that much about, and I'll admit, once obviously I could have maybe seen it at the end of Red Zone. I once the 1 o'clock was done, I went up and did NBA stuff, and I put the Celtic game on. I didn't even turn the NFL back on.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It was like one of the first Sundays I was just like, I don't want to watch this crap. Rubio, let's go over to you. Did you watch that? And what'd you think of your Bengals today? They obviously were battling as well. And I don't even know who won that game. I forget who that was too. I'm telling you, I was watching the games, but definitely was very tuned out at who won each game, Rubio.
You're slacking, Mangone. The Bengals look great today. They look like $1 million. Can't wait for Jamar Chase to get back. DJ Reader being back in the defense helps out. We stopped Derrick Henry all but the one screenplay that he had, that Traylon Burks, Traylon Burks. That's how he gets there.
How chalk? He wasn't like huge chalk.
It was a little bit chalky. It was enough chalk to piss you off when that happens, Mango, and that's what matters. It's not like he caught a 50-yard touchdown. You're like, okay, respect, right? It's like he fell into something. It was pretty absurd. Literally fell into it.
Yeah, it was pretty absurd for sure. That's why you don't quit on a play, right? That's why you keep running, right, Kurt? I'm sure you were taught that in football. You play.
I quit on a lot of plays, but I shouldn't have.
Yeah, no, Kurt, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to play until the whistle. But
facts.
We got a showdown slate to talk about, and I'm excited to get your guys' takes. I also tweeted out I'm liking showdown slates more than main slates, and hey, I'm kind of excited to talk about this one and break it down with you guys. Before we dive in, I do want to say, guys, please hit that like, subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a ton. On top of that, we got a code going on. It's Turkey50. I think this is the last day it's going to be up there. Get you 15% off, or not 15, 50. So 50. So if you pay $80, you get $40, right? I mean, this is a great price. 50% off your first payment for monthly. So be sure to go sign up right now. Get all the content over here at Run Pure. Sure, you may have missed out on some of the other content. We got tons coming to you this week. We got some good soccer winners coming up. And speaking of soccer, Rubio, I mean, you hit for 20K. I don't know. Did you hit back-to-back 20Ks or was it just one night? Because someone said you had back-to-back big soccer days. How were the soccer streets this week for you?
Soccer Street's been great. I didn't win the first day. That was Big T won 20K. And then I took it over on the second day and won 20. So it's a lot of fun, man. The World Cup's been an absolute money printer. And I like to give it back in NBA nightly. So I've been very good to the community that way. But the Soccer Streets have been better than ever. I mean, it is really just one of the best things. The edge is completely there. I'm able to adjust post lock. You know, we got 3 different lock times and stuff like that on most slates. And it's become awesome to know where the ownership is, where you can get different, where you can absolutely improve upon your builds. And as someone who doesn't really do anything all day except to watch the games, it helps out a lot. And, you know, I was lucky enough to bank that and had a great day today. And I was incredibly unlucky. So I'm waiting for the day where I just do it again. It'll probably be tomorrow.
All right. By the way, I'm excited. Rubio, I played soccer 2 days. I think overall I'm only down a little bit, but I'm going to get back in. Don't worry. I needed a little bit of a break. I could not wake up every single day and my sleep schedule was a disaster. I needed to get more than like 3 hours of sleep a couple nights. So, but Rubio, 86-yard touchdown for Josh Jacobs. So the slate's over. If you had Josh Jacobs, you're excited. If you were in first in a GPP without Josh Jacobs, I don't think you're in first anymore. My apologies. But, and if you're in first in a GBP, you probably are not watching me. So, but anyways, maybe you shot it into first, maybe you gave up and then Josh Jacobs just housed it and took it down for you. But let's dive in and talk about this showdown slate and kind of how we are going to handle it. I'll kick it off. So obviously it's a Jalen Hurts slate, right? And Jalen Hurts has been amazing. He's been running a ton at the start of the year. Kind of his running is slowed down a bit. I don't know if it's because they're just like, hey, we're in cruise control. We don't need to sit here and just abuse our quarterback and get him destroyed. Let's wait till that's later on in the year. That could certainly be the case. You got some other good options, right? Dallas Goedert is not there. So it's a little bit more condensed targets for Devonta Smith and AJ Brown. I think those are both interesting options that you can go to as well in the captain spot. The Packers, they obviously have AJ Dillon. They got Aaron Jones, that run game that they can try and work with. But I don't know how they're going to handle them. And I don't know if we want to go to Christian Watson, who, yeah, he had 5 touchdowns in the past 2 weeks. But are we really thinking he's going to run into another touchdown? Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Maybe it's Big Bob Tonyan. Maybe it's Alan Lazard who finally gets there. Or maybe it's the guy that I kind of want to roster today. I like the idea of Aaron Rodgers in the captain spot. And you guys might be saying, hey, that sounds stupid. And I watched that Titans game and I was trying to figure out why on earth is Aaron Rodgers not making these passes that he normally makes? Like, is he washed? It turns out he's like playing with a broken thumb. Like he literally said it. So he's the type of guy that plays through injuries. And he said specifically in the interview that when he has time off, that helps a lot. And what helps? Time off playing a Thursday game all the way till the Sunday Night Football game. That's a lot of time to help him out. I'm in on Rodgers tonight. I'm going to play him at the captain spot. I'm hoping people are scared to get a little 4-2 underdog action, Rubio. That's one to take that I'm going to be on. I think people are going to be scared to go over to Rodgers. I haven't looked at what the ownership is. Maybe I'm wrong, Rubio. Let me know. Are people playing Aaron Rodgers in the captain? And are you playing Aaron Rodgers in the captain? And if not, who are you playing?
Someone who played Aaron Rodgers in the captain last Thursday, I can say that it wasn't bad. It wasn't the worst, but this is a completely different team. It's not a pass funnel. And the way to beat the Eagles, in my opinion, is to run it up the middle, kind of sustain long drives, kind of really build upon these third downs and basically kind of keep the Eagles offense off the field. And I'm worried that this team's not going to be able to do that. I know that you're bullish on the Packers. You're being a homer, and I know I can sense it, man. Going, you're getting this false hope here.
I'm not being a homer. I haven't. If anyone thinks I've been a homer in the chat this year, let me know. But I don't think I have shown any reasons of being a homer. And if I have, you can give me the exact comment, and that's fine. People are saying I'm crazy, and I'm okay with it. And that's fine. Tyler thinks I'm smoking something crazy. That's fine, guys. I'm living and dying with Rodgers today on one of my teams for sure. But Rubio, keep it going. I'm going to keep smoking that good stuff that I found over here underneath my table.
Yeah. I'm sure that's what you're hitting because it doesn't make sense to go with these Packers. I'll say it. I just don't like the way they're setting up here. I just don't like Aaron Rodgers with this thumb news that comes out. It seems like an excuse, but what's new with Aaron Rodgers? And I think the biggest thing with this team is just like they just don't match up well. And these wide receivers are terrible. I think these cornerbacks are going to have an absolute field day. We saw maybe a glimpse of it with like Michael Pittman and Terry McLaurin being able to have a little bit of success, but I don't think Alan Lazard and Christian Watson are going to be able to do that. The props are weak across the board, and I just don't see how the Packers keep it close without pounding Aaron Jones into the line of scrimmage 20, 25 times and mixing in A.J. Dillon in there. I don't have any interest in Aaron Rodgers tonight, period, whether it's in the captain or in the utility, Mangone. I'm sorry.
Kurt, as someone who, you played football, I played football. We both put our hands in the dirt. I don't know about these two, but I know we have, Kurt. You know what works really well against a team like the Eagles? You establish it. 3rd and 2, play action. There we go. Baby. Right. And then we get the Rodgers touchdowns over the top. And it's night, Kurt. That's what I'm talking about here.
Catch them linebackers asleep, baby.
And now we just got word from producer that Bakhtiari is actually active too. He told us earlier he wasn't or something. So that's obviously good.
Shout out my offensive lineman.
Yeah, I mean, Kurt, so I know people are saying that I'm a homer. Like, we have tons of tape of me not being a homer. We have tons of tape of me wanting to trade Aaron Rodgers. That's fine, though. Go back to that tape and then tell me that I'm a homer. But I'm in on it. I'm in on the 4-2 Rodgers. Kurt, you sometimes like to get a little crazy and go on the opposite side. You've done it with some Justin Herbert, and that's worked out for you. Are you doing it here, or are there other Eagles options you'd rather play at the captain spot? How are you kind of handling it up top here?
I've actually been doing a lot of the underdog 4-2s, but for this game, I do agree with you. I think the biggest thing, Rodgers, the thumb also has been fucked up, but I think he really is starting to trust these receivers more, and that's made a difference. You've seen that. And then another thing is Philadelphia, they have not been the same since Jordan Davis has been out. Turns out when you have a 350-pound true athlete who can stop the run, it kind of hurts when he's not in. They signed Sue. I have no idea if he's going to be active. Was he active last week? Sue? Simon?
Yeah, he was in. He was in Sue and the other defensive tackle.
So old Sue's not going to, he's not as good as Davis, but he once was. He's a lot better than what they had going. So I think the run defense is going to get a little bit better slowly. So, and I think this Philly team, they've been kind of having some letdown spots. I think they're going to come out here and really try to shove your Packers into the dirt, man. This is a spot. I think this is a get right spot for the Eagles. They've not been playing up to par from what they think they should be playing at. And I think they really kind of shove it here. Hate to say it.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see kind of how this game plays out. And let's see. I'm going to say this. I know I've said the Eagles are overrated. This is not a take of I think the Eagles are overrated, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going on that as a take. Megan, I want to get your take though here on how you're handling this game. I think the Eagles are fine and all, but I think these Packers options, there's a couple that you can go to that I think they could spread it out a bit more than the Eagles might spread it out, right? I mean, yeah, you can make the case the Eagles spread the ball out with the running back position, but do you want to play that guessing game? Also, some of these other guys, they spread it out too. I don't know. I just don't think it's going to make as much sense. And I think the Eagles offense is more condensed than people realize with Dallas Goedert not being there, where that could make the 4-2 viable. Now, it could obviously make 3-3s interesting as well. I think those are not bad routes to go, but let me get your take on how you're handling this captain spot here, Megan.
Well, I am a delusional Washington homer, so you'll never have a problem, having me bet against the Eagles. And, tonight, my idea to get different was to play a Packers in more often than not a Packers player in the captain. Now I wasn't planning on Rodgers. I more liked Aaron Jones, again, wanting to establish the run. Alan Lazard, maybe just volume, his number one guy still, even though Watson's gotten the touchdowns. So I was looking more that way, but you might have talked me into it, Mangone. It's interesting. So, of course, if, Jalen Hurts is always in play as the captain. Obviously, he's got an immense, floor and incredible ceiling too. We haven't seen his ceiling a ton this season, but we've seen his floor pretty much each and every week. So, of course, you can play Jalen Hurts in the captain, but I think to get different, I really like taking a shot on one of those Packers and, of course, getting your volume Eagles players in the flex. Again, my favorites were Aaron Jones and Alan Lazard, but, you might have sold me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind those options either. I think I have to pick one Eagle that I like as like one of the position guys. It's not Jalen Hurts. I think Devonta Smith's an interesting one. I think that's
like
going to
that
be
too.
that might be my other captain. I haven't totally decided yet, but I do think the Devonta Smith captains are really interesting. That's one that I want to look at. Like I said, I think with the Dallas Goedert injury, it's sliding more usage over more to AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. And I think Devonta Smith could certainly have a really big game. I got to look at how some of those teams kind of shake out. Kurt, let's go back to you. Let's talk about some of these flex options like Jalen Hurts. Is he a player fade in the captain's, or not in the captain spot, in the flex spot? Also, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's a spend-up guy. Maybe AJ Brown is a spend-up that you want to play or fade. Talk about some of these other options, because it's not one of those slates where it's like, okay, there's no one really to spend on, and we know who the obvious guys are. There's kind of a bunch you can go to, right? You can go to Rodgers. You can go to Devonta Smith. You can go to AJ Brown, Aaron Jones, Jalen Hurts. You can't fit them all up top. So what are you kind of doing with these options here?
First of all, I think you just play Hurts. He's going to get there unless he gets hurt. This Green Bay secondary is one of the most underwhelming, I think, coming into the year. I had really high expectations for him personally, and they've not really been that great. So I think he's just locking Hurts everywhere. And if he gets hurt, then so be it. Just move on to the next slate. Injuries happen. But yeah, I mean, you don't fade him. As far as the captain goes, I don't think I'm going to have too much of him in the captain just because, well, I will, but it's because I have a value play that I'm going to play later. But unless I'm playing my cheapie that I like, I don't think I'm going to like Hurts too much in the captain. I comment on board with you about doing the captain Packers. I think the Eagles shove, but I don't think that doesn't mean a captain from the Packers cannot be optimal tonight. So I'm actually on some of these Packers captains. I actually like Lazard. Eagles have kind of given up the wide receiver ones lately, and I think the script is going to play in favor of that. And I think Christian Watson has done enough to kind of take some attention away from Lizard Boy. But I really like him in the captain spot, and I think it's going to actually be my main lineup.
All right, before I go to you, Rubio, I want to ask either Kurt or Rubio to find this. It's one of your jobs, so whoever wants to take it on. I want to know who's been the slot guy, right, with the Christian Watson stuff. I guess last couple weeks. Who's kind of been in the slot a little bit more, because maybe that's going to be beneficial there. I know Tyler's in the chat talking about Randall Cobb. We'll kind of get to him, but we're talking about these guys up top. Megan, let's go to you first. Jalen Hurts, is he a play or is he a fade? I mean, AJ Brown, Aaron Jones, Rodgers, even Miles Sanders. We should kind of put him in the bucket up top too, along with Devonta Smith. We'll put Allen Lazard and Watson in there, and then basically whatever's below the backup quarterbacks, like the 6K and below. Then we'll kind of talk about them. So talk about between Watson and Hurts here. How do you kind of handle this range up top at the flex spot?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to play Hurts in the captain. I talked about the incredible floor and the potential for the ceiling. So, or in the flex, of course, I'm going to have Hurts. With him, as far as the Eagles side, I definitely think you could make a case for Miles Sanders. You could even do Hurts and Sanders, as a big part of your Eagles, kind of representation in the flex, because I do think the way to attack the Packers could be, on the ground. So I don't mind that. I do think it's hard for Hurts to get multiple of his expensive receivers. It's hard for anybody to get multiple of their expensive receivers there, but because he runs so much and they run so much, I don't see me jamming all three of AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, and Hurts. So, I think you kind of have to pick one or the other. I am leaning more to Devonta Smith just because of price, right? Because there are, some Packers that I want to get and just, to make it all work. So, of course, AJ Brown can have a massive ceiling game, but I lean more towards Devonta Smith between the two. So I'd say my favorite Eagles are Hurts, Devonta Smith, Miles Sanders. On the Packers side, it's what I said kind of in the captain. My two favorite Packers captains are Aaron Jones and Allen Lazard, for the reasons we all have already talked about. But Christian Watson, of course, but he is literally our company's name. He is running pure on touchdowns. He has 14 targets the last 2 weeks and 6 touchdowns, I believe. So, I'm not saying he can't do it again this week, but I'm going to bet on more volume with Lazard and be higher on Lazard than Watson as far as that.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Let's go. Rubio or Kurt, did someone get me the snaps, or did we both?
It's Cobb. Yeah,
What?
it's Cobb. I had it pulled up. I actually had it pulled up, but it's Cobb.
Okay, Cobb, cool. That's what I thought it could
And
be.
he has the biggest advantage as far as wide receiver cornerback shit.
Yeah, he's someone I want to look into a little bit more that I wasn't really thinking about as much going into the show. Rubio, let's go over to you. How are you handling these flex spots up top? Break it down for me.
I'll tell you, it's all Eagles. I mean, it just is. I think it's Jalen Hurts at the top and the captain, but then it goes AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. I think we're going to see this target tree absolutely very condensed. It used to be a three-headed monster. Well, one of those monsters has been slayed right now, and all of a sudden you got just all this usage is probably going to funnel into Brown and Smith. We saw it a little bit last week. A couple of the touchdowns went to like Quez Watkins and stuff, but I mean, you can really just stack this attack or this passing attack with these two stud wide receivers. I think if I'm going to like stray toward the Packers side, it would be in a script where like I go Aaron Jones, where they have success running the ball, and Aaron Jones is able to, get involved in the passing game a little bit and then be effective in the red zone. But I mean, other than that, I mean, these Packers, I just, it's a gross mid tier this slate. I mean, it really is. It's a bunch of guys who, I mean, the Allen Lazard matchup is not kind at all. Christian Watson, if you really like gunning for touchdowns and touchdowns only, I guess he's in play. But then all of a sudden you have these Eagles running backs that are just a slew of these like inconsistent usage, I would say. Like Boston Scott got the first touch of the game a couple of games ago against the Washington Commanders. And all of a sudden you thought, oh man, Boston Scott might have a huge game. Then it turned out to be his only carry of the game. So it's just a gross mid-range. And I think you kind of keep dropping down a little bit and a little bit. I think that brings in Randall Cobb, someone who Aaron Rodgers trusts, someone who had great success last week, and it's a position where he'll probably be on the field a lot in trailing scripts. So, I mean, that would probably be the mid range that I go, but really kind of sticking with like kind of stars and scrubs in this slate, though.
All right, guys, if you could please hit that like, subscribe to the channel. Helps us out a ton over here at Run Pure Sports. Also, if you want to sign up, use that code Turkey50. Now's the time, right? I think the code's going away tomorrow or tonight. 50% off your first payment monthly. We run some codes sometimes, but this is a great one. This is one of the best ones you can get into right now. So be sure to go sign up. Let's go to a chatter here. One of them said, basically asked, I should not play Crosby either. That guy is dusty. Let's go to you, Kurt. Is Crosby dusty? Do you think Elliott's dusty? Let's talk about this kind of range below the quarterbacks. And if we're going below these quarterbacks, and by quarterbacks, I mean the backups, then it's like Randall Cobb. Is he dusty? How's Big Bob Tanya? I mean, AJ Dillon is now at least only 4.8, but man, you look at the game logs. Dude has only broken double digits once this year.
And look at the snaps. Look at the snaps for Robert. I mean, he's not even at 60% of the snaps. And like, it's not a lot of the route share. I mean, it's the most route share for the tight ends, but it's still not great. And it's like 5K. Should be like 3.5. So for that reason, I will play Dusty Ash Crosby for the savings, and Elliott too, because the mid tier is so bad. I'm going to take a shot. I mean, AJ Dillon had, I think, 50 or 48% of the snaps last week. I'm going to take a risk on just saying, okay, maybe this Philadelphia run defense is still bad. We saw Damian Pierce run it down their throat. That was before Sue. I think Sue will make a little difference, but still, I'm going to take the risk for 4,800 on a slate where the mid range is so ass. I mean, AJ Dillon's been like 6 weeks overdue to fall in the end zone. He's a stiff, but he can fall in the end zone at 4,800.
Yeah, he could certainly fall in there. I don't see myself getting there, but if you say, hey, like you land in that range, I guess my lean is Cobb. If I had to pick, obviously I know it's 400 more, but that's kind of the guy I would lean to. You got Gainwell there, who could be interesting as well in this range. Obviously, the Packers, they struggle against the run at times. You got Jake Elliott at 4K and Crosby. Like, those are cheaper than some kickers we typically see, but yes, they're not Justin Tucker and some of these other good kickers we have. Megan, let's go over to you. How are you handling this cheap range? Obviously, we got Sammy Watkins as well. That's another one we could look at. And some of these defenses, they got to be in play. What are you doing with this, like, kind of, not obviously like the $200 range. We'll get to that shortly, but what are you kind of doing with this range of the kickers, the defenses, and some of these other options that are in this range?
Yeah, I don't have a ton of interest in the kickers and defenses. It does feel a little dusty. You know, typically we do like playing kickers on Showdown, and you know, great access to get those volume points. But I don't have a ton of interest in the kickers or the defenses here. I don't have a ton of interest in, like, you know, the Sammy Watkins and that range. Randall Cobb is pretty much it for me in that like mid range, and I do like Randall Cobb a lot tonight. So there are some guys like, I think like under 3,000, but I think that's later. But so, yeah, in that mid range, it's just Randall Cobb for me.
All right. Yeah, I think Cobb's one that's growing on me a little bit. Rubio, is Cobb growing on you? You do the Showdown playbook over here at Run Pure Sports. So if people have not checked it out, Rubio's got the Showdown playbook up. We got Tambo's attack plan. We'll have Big T Showdown player pool. So you got to check all that out. We got Showdown shows for all the Showdowns. So you want to make sure to check those out. There'll be one tomorrow with Big T. He'll be on with JT and Chris Randone. So be sure to check out that show. Subscribe to the channel. That way you can get notified when it goes live here free on the YouTube channel. But Rubio, talk to me about how you're handling kind of this mid-tier range with some of these, I guess, dusty guys, as people like to call them, and the kickers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in the Eagles defense just because I think they'll be able to pressure Rodgers a bit. And Rodgers hasn't been completely mistake prone like he has been in previous years. And I think a lot of that has to do with the absence of like Devontae Adams and his true weapons. And I'm with Kurt exactly here. I think I had AJ Dillon highlighted as well because 48% of the snaps, regardless of, opportunity or not. And then I know he only had 6 carries, but 48% of the snaps for 4.8K against a team that they're probably going to want to run the ball against is going to be a little bit of value. Somebody could probably fall in the box, and all of a sudden you're looking, he's got 11. He's optimal. So, I mean, it's definitely someone I'm looking at a little bit heavily here if I am going to go to the Packers side, if I do fade the Eagles defense. But again, I'm interested in this Eagles defense. I just think they profile really well here. And I think that like this mid-range, Cobb, Dillon, Eagles defense, then you got to include the kickers, but this is an Eagles team that's aggressive on 4th down often. So, they might be like 4th and 3 from the 33. You might be like, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to get a 50-yard field goal. And all of a sudden, Jalen Hurts and the offense is still out in the field and they go for it. So I think that's the frustration with Jake Elliott. I mean, that's frustration with most kickers in general, but I think you got an aggressive team. Jake Elliott's been one of the worst kickers for DFS, I think, this year, just based on like average points. I know Joey Sly, Jake Elliott, are like 2 guys down there and stuff. And Mason Crosby, on the other hand, I mean, he's always been good. I know he's very dusty. What is he, like 45 now, Mango? And you probably know. Like,
I mean, he's
old
old
enough to be my dad.
He's had 10 DK points once this year. It is. I just looked at the lot. I mean, it is brutal. But yeah, I mean, if you play Crosby, it seems like you have to play him on like a 4-2 or a 5-1 because like you're assuming the Packers move the ball, right? Like that's kind of the assumption on it, and like that's why I guess that's how I would get to it. But it's brutal for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm kind of in agreement with you. I think. They got to move the ball somehow, and these guys aren't like crazily expensive, but I think it's going to be a lot of Jones and Dillon tonight, and they hang on for as much as they can. I mean, similar to what game was it? It wasn't the Titans game, but the Packers were still running the ball in the 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, and taking their damn time. I think we see something very similar to that here.
Well, the Packers are like in the game or leading, like they are down to run the ball and bleed some clock. That's definitely something they're.
Oh, even when they're down 20.
Well, when they're down 20, I doubt they're going to be doing that unless
it's they did that just a couple games ago, man. Come on now.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it's because they just wanted to get out of that game. But I mean, it was probably late in the game, I guess, is why. But yeah, I mean, that game was ugly to watch. I didn't see the whole thing, but I saw parts of it, and I was very confused why he was missing some passes. But the broken thumb kind of added up and made sense to me, at least when I saw that. Okay, so we'll talk about that. Let's go to the cheap range. The really, really cheap options here. And we talked about the mid-range not being amazing, and like I typically don't like to dive into this like cheap range of like the $200 guys. It just depends like who they are and what the price is. Sammy Watkins at 3.4. We didn't really talk about him. If you want to talk about some dusty guys, we know he can be dusty at times, but he could easily catch one. And he has a big game once every season. He has that 40 piece. Could it be this spot? Probably not, but he does actually do it once a year. It seems like Stahl, DeGuara. It's ugly down here. You got the Torre guy. I know he's been getting a little bit more, not volume, but like his snaps out there, running some exercises. Everyone loves to talk about Mercedes Lewis from time to time. I don't think this is the Mercedes Lewis game, Rubio, but let's go to Kurt to kick it off. Kurt, do you have a cheapie? You got a gem for us? Like, how are we handling this cheap range?
Yeah, it might. I meant to make sure I wasn't on mute. I wasn't. Yeah, in my Jalen Hurts captain lineups, I'm just going to rotate it and have one share of all these tight ends like Stoll, Jackson, the Oklahoma guy, Calcarda. My favorite's Jackson. Simon brought it up last week that he was getting activated. He's played like, I think 13 snaps or something last week. He looked really good backing up Dallas Goedert when Hurts was hurt last year. So $200 in my Jalen Hurts captain lineups. I think one of these tight ends score. I always think that, but I mean, like, I don't know. Like they have so many like plays and stuff for Goddard in the red zone that you don't just scrap that. Like you're going to run some of those plays, and one of these tight ends could fall in the box and be optimal. I suppose Jalen Hurts captain lineups, put you a tight end in that lineup, baby.
All right, maybe you can save my lineups with some down here. What do we like down here? I mean, it's definitely brutal. I looked at the DeGuara. Like, I mean, I know it's bad down here, but I'm just trying to find something to help fill it out. What's kind of your thoughts here? I mean, I put it in the Rodgers captain one. I mean, it could work, but I don't know. I'm trying to find something better. You got any cheap options for me?
Yeah, kind of like Kurt said, I have interest in the Philly tight end, and it was Stoll who was running most of the routes. Rubio put it in the playbook. I think he actually said it was 58 out of 63 routes or something like that. So he gave some good information in the playbook. But so Stoll's running most of the routes, then I'm gonna, or had most of the snaps, and that's the one I'm gonna play the most, because then I don't play enough lineups to try to take shots on the other cheaper tight ends. And then I don't know that I'm gonna take shots on Deguara or the other Packers tight ends either. So it's really just Stoll. And then, I think you could take shots on like a Quez Watkins or Zach Pascal. I don't know exactly how many routes they ran the last 2 weeks, but they're just getting a handful of targets. It's definitely risky, but we need to find value somewhere. So it's probably those 3 Philly guys for me as the cheapies.
Yeah, it's tough here. I mean, I'm sorting through teams, and I am struggling to find something I like. There, I just found your Jackson guy. Let's see if that. I can't get behind that one, Kurt. That one's too tough. That one is
Simon. Talk to him, baby.
No, that one is not it. I'm telling you right now, it's not it. It's
Tyree Jackson.
Yeah,
oh boy,
he's an athletic tight end, Mangone.
I can't.
Were you not playing him at Buffalo? On the max slates?
Kurt, can I explain to you? Because you'll back out real quick when you hear it. It's 4 Packers with Rodgers and the captain with Jalen Hurts and Jackson. So you have no other Eagles.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do. I'm like I said, I'm only doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I think this is where I think these guys are better in like the onslaught builds sometimes, right? Of like the 4-2, the 5-1s. That's something I just noticed. I was like, oh, that's not it. I'm not doing that team. But yeah, just looking through some stuff, and I don't think Jackson's a bad play. I would make sure he's on one of the lopsided scripts. I think that just makes a little bit more sense to me. Who have I not gone to for the cheap? I went to Kurt. I got to go to Megan. You got a cheap one, or did I already just go to you?
No, it's the 3 Philly cheapies for me. Stoll, Quez, Watkins,
I think I just
Pascal. So just that's it for me for cheapies.
All right, Rubio, what about you? Who are your cheap options? And why don't we talk about some of the fades you might have in the playbook? I'm scrolling down now. Some of the fades are Rubio.
Oh man,
you got Aaron Rodgers as a fade. What do you know? Rubio, no. Oh man, that's fine. I'm against you, Big T. If you're listening, go against Rubio for one captain team. When you normally ask people for one Big T, make sure Rodgers and the captain on one of them against Rubio. We got one of the notes is Robert Tonyan has been cheeks all year. So that's another fade.
Watkins. It's been brutal.
Yep. And then you got Packers defense in there as well. So that's fine. I'm not playing any Packers defense. I won't argue with that. But who are your cheapies, Rubio, that I should be looking at here to pair with my Aaron Rodgers situation?
So I'm sticking with the Eagles, of course. I'm sticking with this Eagles theme. And I think, obviously Jack Stoll tops the list. But I think it was like almost all the snaps at tight end last week. I think Tyree Jackson and the other dude got a little bit, but it was mostly all Stoll. I think if you're looking for just people to get on the field at a cheap cost, you're going to find it with Stoll. But if you're looking for more opportunity, Boston Scott had a pair of catches last game. He has been getting some red zone carries, as we saw too. I think he's a very sneaky, and I think he might have even jumped Gainwell in the depth chart too. So it's one of those things too where I'm kind of looking at it a little bit. Boston Scott and Gainwell are getting very similar snap count shares, and it's definitely one of those things. 2,600 or 4.4. I'm going to go Boston Scott all day. Quez Watkins, is it Zach Pascal, I think, who's the cheap one between the two. Like, I think if you're going down this range, like this far with those cheap Eagles, you need a touchdown. That's what you're gunning for. But with this mid-range being so weak, that is more than viable here. I think one play can separate the difference between a really weak midfield and just like, I know these cheap options aren't great. They're not great players at all, but one play I think is going to be enough on this slate. It's not like a ton of high scoring plays in this mid-tier range where you're missing out on. No, not at all. If I get 7 from one of these dudes, I feel like I'm in the driver's seat. And I feel like that's the move tonight too. And I think, just looking at it, Stoll and Boston Scott are the main two for me.
All right, let's keep this thing moving here. We touched upon all the players and stuff, but now's the time to tell me the build, right? And let's make sure the time. Yep, it starts at the 20 mark, so that's good. It didn't change on us this week. I'm waiting for it to one of these weeks. It's going to start at 15 and just totally surprise us. I'm telling you, probably going to be the last week of the season, but. Actually, I don't know if we didn't even have Sunday Night Football, I think, on the last week of the season. I think they all start at the same time. So, but anyways, let's keep this thing moving. Let's talk about the builds, right? I'm going 4-2 Packers as my favorite, right? It's the Rodgers in the captain spot. I don't see, and Megan, I'm going to go to you first. I'm going to go to you first because you are out here, just actually putting it on the line. We got all these people with the Eagles in the captain spot. Kurt, I don't see your core up yet, so we're waiting on that. Megan, how about this?
Oh, you see my core? Yes.
I don't know where the likes are at. I don't care. Hit the like for us, but Megan is going to give out her core for tonight. We got Kurt with his core. He's on a Packer guy too. So Kurt, we'll give out your core also as well. So we're giving those ones out. We got JSU jumping on here, but let's go to Megan first. What's your build? Is it 4-2, 5-1? What's the setup here and what's your core?
It is 3-3, but a Packers captain is my favorite.
All right. And who's the captain? Give out the core, Megan. For the
Okay, let me see. So do you want me to give out both FanDuel and DraftKings?
Yeah, you can give out both.
Okay, so for DraftKings, it's Aaron Jones in the captain with Jalen Hurts, Devonta Smith. And then on FanDuel, I did Jalen Hurts MVP, Aaron Jones, Randall Cobb. Great value on Randall Cobb on FanDuel.
Love to see it. Also, congrats to Tambo. He shipped FFB, whatever seats they are, FFFC. I don't remember what they are. The live final seats. Tambo shipped one, so congrats to him. Awesome hit by him. We should see. I mean, he's got his attack plan up. So again, use that code Turkey50. Check out where Tambo's at. Tell you this, Tambo is opposite of me. It's going to be tough sledding maybe for me, but if not, I'll be sitting on my own side, I think, tonight. We'll see. JSU, we'll get to you. We're going to let you sit here for a second because Kurt's got to give out his core for the people and tell us which route he's going. Is it 5-1, 4-2? Which way are you going, Kurt?
Going 4-2. It is going to be Packers. I do think the Eagles win, but it's going to be 4-2. It's going to be a very condensed Eagles scoring tonight. So I'm going to go Lazard captain. You can't captain him. Darius Slay's a god, right? No, you can't captain Lazard. Can't do that bad game. No, you can. We're going to captain Alan Lazard, Aaron Jones, Jalen Hurts. And then on FanDuel, I'm going Jalen Hurts, Lazard, and Aaron Jones.
There it is. We're going to go to Rubio and listen. Like, we have 700 watching, and JSU is hopping on. We have only 165 likes. I don't want to tell JSU to go. I like hanging out with Johnny AirPods. Let's push those likes up, guys. Come on. JSU hopped on out of nowhere. I don't even know why he hopped on. Who knows? He could be here to yell at me for making a mistake about something. Could be because of the Rodgers thing, or he could be saying I'm right and be on my side. Or might be just telling you, hey, this is the right way to build, and he's going to give us some takes. Rubio, over to you. What's the build tonight? I think I know you too well, Rubio. It's a 5-1 Eagles night or 4-2. It's for sure a Rubio 5-2 4 or 5-1.
You said it. Move on, man. Going 5-1. 5-1.
Yeah, 5-1. I knew it was a 5-1. Jeez,
it's too easy tonight. It's too easy.
No, it's not.
It's too easy. You're making it harder. You get those
Rubio.
homer
So we should have done this in the start of the year. So it's too easy. I'm writing down on this little note here. 5-1 Eagles.
Taking notes.
Easy. We will revisit this next week.
We will. I'll take a victory lap. I'll take a long, slow victory lap. Just like I did when I beat you in basketball.
I'm happy. You can shoot it in front of my face and I'll watch again and it'll be painful. JSU, why are you here? What's the takes you got? I'm excited to hear what you got for us.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for finally bringing me in here, Mangone. I appreciate it. As one of two people on this panel who put their hand in the dirt playing some football, I appreciate you letting someone who never got a chance to put his hand in the dirt to get on the show with you, someone who has done that before. So I really appreciate that. I just think that I needed to come on here because I needed to save the people from some of your horrendous takes to start the show, Mangone. I mean, you come on here and you talk about how you didn't watch football all day. I mean,
I watched.
You don't even know the scores. You don't even know what happened at the end. I mean, Mangone, that is the worst thing you could come on here and start the show with. And you come on here with that bad mojo?
JSU, sometimes there's some tough stuff going on, and you were on a flight last week during some games, so like it happens sometimes. There was some stuff going on.
Yeah, there are situations where you literally can't watch or can't figure out what's going on. But when I got back, trust me, I was looking at all the scores. I was looking at who won, who was doing what. Come on, Mangone, that's a bad take right there.
It's not.
You needed a break.
It's not a take, JSU. It was an accident. It just happened. You know, things happen. It wasn't on purpose.
You said you needed a break from sports.
No,
the day I need a break from sports is the day that someone drops me on my head.
I didn't say that. I never
ways.
said that. I said I need.
Yeah, you did.
No, I said I switched over from football to basketball. I watched the Celtics for a little bit at one point.
I mean, that's fine, but you still need to know who wins the game.
Yeah, I mean, I had forgotten. Also, my teams were so shit, JSU. Sometimes you're making swaps, and I was too busy not paying attention. Like, I was like,
oh, you were that dusted. I was dusted too early.
It was not fun for me. It was, I mean, I had some that were fine, but it was a lot going on. But JSU, what's the takes you're saving people from? It sounds like you don't like my idea.
I didn't like the way you started the show, Mangone. I don't know about your actual football takes for tonight because I was trying to get my own teams in and then jump on here with you guys. But I just don't know. I just don't know how we don't love the Philadelphia passing attack. And I mean, Ryan Tannehill just put over 300 yards up against this Packers defense. Ryan friggin' Tannehill came out and was throwing all over them. I mean, Jalen Hurts is going to have a monster game today. And I like some different guys. I mean, definitely a two passer in the build day. For me, most of my teams are going to have 2 wide receivers in the builds from Philly. I just think there's no way that 2 of these guys don't get there. And someone was talking about how, I forget who it was, how with Goddard out, it actually becomes a little more condensed, which, makes it even easier too. So you can kind of spread it out if you're 150ing. I just think that's a really good rule. And then, Jalen Hurts, obviously most popular play in the captain, but I really like, and I'll give it out on the show because we only got 10 minutes left, but I really like Quez Watkins tonight. I think Quez, he lines up in the slot majority of his snaps, and he gets some of his snaps taken away because Pascal's a really good blocker, but he gets a lot of deep routes. So like when he's out there, he's running routes, and they're 20+ yard routes, like they're long routes. So I just feel the deep ball night for him. It might only be one 60-yard bomb for a touchdown, but on this slate, I think that hits. So I really like Quez tonight. I think you put him with one of the 2 volume receivers, and you put him with Hurts in the captain, and you got your build right there kind of rolling. So I'm going to be heavy on that. I love Quez tonight. I like the passing attack a ton for Philly, and then, bring it back and finish it out with whatever I got. But that was that's my heavy take on this game. It's going to be heavy on the Philly side. I do think, though, I don't necessarily know if this game is like a 40-10 blowout. I do think the Packers could, score some here. I'm not going to say it's just a complete blowout. That doesn't mean I love Aaron Rodgers. I actually think Aaron Jones is I have Aaron Jones projected ahead of all those other Packers guys, including Rodgers. Because I think that's the way they keep it close, is feeding him. I mean, Dylan's been awful, but eventually he's going to get a 1-yard touchdown. Like, I've been fading him. I haven't played him at all. Completely fading him in every single situation, showdown, main slate. It's the one thing I've done, I feel like, right this year, because I've done a bunch of things wrong. But A.J. Dillon, at some point, he's going to get that 1-yarder. Maybe he gets 2 of them, but I do think the run game is how they keep it. It reminds me of who was the team they played where they were just completely outmatched? I'm blanking on it right now. And it was like the third quarter. Oh, it was Buffalo, right? It was like the third quarter, and they were down like 20, and they were still just running the football. Yes. It reminds me kind of like that, where they could be down 20 in the third quarter, and they're just still feeding these guys because they just know that's what they need to do. So.
Tell him, JSU. Tell him. I tried to tell him. He didn't listen. Well,
they might listen now. I don't know. I mean, Rube shipped 20K in soccer. You guys might want to listen to the man. He's got the DK hat on right now. He's got a good smile. I heard he got a pep talk from my man Big T. And then he shipped. That's what happens when Big T starts giving you pep talks.
I need a pep talk.
He gives you a good old smack across the face, Rubio. It might have been a virtual smack across the face, but it was.
I'm pretty sure you give me a smack across the face if I said I like the Packers, and I'm looking at his pool. Never mind.
Then why does Big T like the Packers? I talked to him, but I didn't talk to him about.
Yeah, is this pull up? Let's see.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, he's got some.
There we go. This is I mean, Big T. Yep, you love to see it. There we go. Big T gave himself a pep talk. He gave himself a pep talk on Twitter. I got to be better. Last 3 to 4 weeks has been rough. Let's ride, Big T. I'm on board. I mean, it's looking good. So
also too, what do we think of Christian Watson tonight? Because I saw projections on him. They were super low, like surprisingly low on him.
I know like so many just like big touchdowns. Like, I mean, I guess it could have.
I know he's running pure. He's running pure on touchdowns, but
he's running pure, but it's his role though. They only have 2 guys.
It is. He's the red zone threat. I totally get it. And he totally could get 2 more tonight, but I don't know. I'm
I
gonna be low on
think
him.
it's like the bust rate. Like if he busts, he's not
Right.
winning anyways. But when he booms,
Yeah.
so like to me, he makes the most sense actually in captain,
In
honestly,
captain. Sure.
in a way where like you kind of just want that ceiling monster performance. Now, I'm not saying I won't play him some in the flex because I will, but
Right.
I do think he makes a lot of sense in captain. He's under projected. He has the ceiling to have a big game. So if you ask me for one Packers captain, it'd probably be him. He makes the most sense to me.
Do we think he's going to be over-owned because of his, obviously recent performance? Like, I don't know what his ownership's coming in at tonight or looking like tonight.
Mangone, you're better at this, but wouldn't his projection tell you, at least not in the captain, right?
Who are you talking about?
Christian Watson.
Oh yeah, I don't see him coming into the captain much at all.
Yeah.
I doubt, especially because how close he is to those other guys, and
he's right next to Lazard too, right, Mangone?
Right.
Which gotta like keep his ownership somewhat down.
Yeah, I also don't think that going down to Watson gets you that much of an upgrade compared to these like studs. At least that's what I noticed when I kind of ran things. So I think you're
last week. I think they had a similar projection, and Watson came in super high owned. People love these, like the Packers were on primetime TV, like what? 2 weeks in a row
Rubio,
now.
he just came off like the 35 banger.
Well, then
Right.
also last game he also put up 2 touchdowns, 4 catches, and whatever. Like,
But they were going
crushing.
against Tennessee, which is different than going against the Eagles.
Well, apparently it's not.
Well, it is though. People
By
take
the way,
that into account.
I didn't say it was. I never said the Packers were going to win the game. I just think they're going to have a nice trailing script of the 4-2.
Oh, flip that! Come on, back it up, man.
No, because I don't think they're actually going to. I don't feel that confident they're going to win, but I think they're going to. I think they'll be able to move the ball, and it's going to be more competitive game. I don't think it's going to be 40-10 or something. I think it's going to be a competitive game. What's the line on the game, Rubio?
6.5.
It's 6.5. I think the Packers keep it somewhat close.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
Easy
say
money.
they get crushed. Rubio, you think they win by 20?
I think they kill him. I think it's just like that Bills-Packers game, like you mentioned. I think it kind of gets ugly a little bit early. Oh, Rodgers hits his thumb on a helmet following through, and then he winds off the field, and Jordan Love trots
Wasn't that game 27-17 at the end of the day?
But it was like, 20 points in the third quarter, right?
Well, yeah, it was. At the end of the third quarter, it was a 20-point game. So
Bills took their foot off the gas too. It was weird. Like both teams were like,
both teams didn't have their foot on the gas in the third and fourth quarter.
Like, man, we know what's gonna happen. Let's just kind of coast and go out, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I found the winner, so I'm very excited about this one I just found. It's an Aaron Jones captain. We're just going all in on it.
I like Aaron Jones captain a lot tonight. So.
Yeah, I got the Aaron Jones captain. I got the Rodgers captain. I'll sit. Maybe I'll bring the cheesehead downstairs. I don't think I busted it out all year.
They're the only 2 Packers I would play in captain: Aaron Jones and Christian Watson. Those are the only 2 guys.
It's definitely
that's hurtful, JSU. Can't play
Who
Lazard.
are you playing in captain?
God forbid Lazard has a big game. Can't do it.
Lazard? Who's Lazard? You can't even get his name right? You don't even respect him enough to give him the correct name?
Lazard and Ekelar.
I know how to pronounce
that shows you the respect you have. He ain't getting it done for you now. You just jinxed yourself.
I'll call him Lizard Boy. That's a sign of respect. Lizard Boy is going off.
I don't know if that's a sign of respect, Meg. I don't know. If someone twisted your name like that, would that be a sign of respect to you?
I don't think
My
they
name
think I
rhymes
was
with
a winner.
dirt, bro.
No, yeah. JSU, I have to say we should listen to you though, because you shipped last Sunday. So congrats again.
Oh shit.
Oh, thank you. Maybe Sunday's my day. Maybe Sunday is my day. There we go. I'll take Sunday. Mangone gets Saturdays for NBA. Tambo gets main slate Sundays because he always ships every friggin' main slate. Shout out to my man Tambo. Rubio gets soccer because he ships soccer.
Kurt's got EuroLeague locked down.
Hopefully I'll get something.
Yeah, EuroLeague every day, I guess, EuroLeague.
Hey.
I always laugh when I see the Kurt EuroLeague tweets.
Meg gets the Commanders game. The Commanders are just running pure right now. That's what Meg gets right now.
I'm doing decent on tiers and a couple of showdowns. I've come close, but it's got to be my turn soon.
Yo, on Thanksgiving Day,
it's gonna be. It's gonna. How good must you feel as a Washington fan? It must feel good.
It's cool. It's very cool.
Yeah,
the games aren't super exciting to watch, but it's very fun. Yeah,
it's always exciting when you get that dub.
Yeah,
every single showdown on Thanksgiving Day, up until the last play, I had a sweat.
Mm-hmm.
Every single but I absolutely got wrecked on Maine. But for some reason, every single showdown slate, I was almost binking. Happy
The
Thanksgiving,
Dallas one I
everybody.
was, but the other one, no.
We good? What are the, oh shit. I want to see the ownerships once you get a mango. It's always my favorite pastime. 30 seconds. Get them in,
just-
boys.
I need to change
It's
one
10
more
seconds.
thing.
That's it.
I don't know. I'm just
Yeah,
guessing.
it came up quick.
You're gonna lie about the time on me? That's hurtful.
29, 28.
Yeah, 30. I see 35 seconds right now.
Okay. Well, he said 10. 10 is tough.
Okay, now it's 30 seconds.
There
Countdown
we
is
go.
on, folks.
Might make a last second change here. My thing
Yeah, I'm
finally
making a last
loaded.
second change right now too.
I think
Everyone-
finally loaded with what I
Tinker.
wanted to do.
Tinker to more Eagles. Come on now.
No, I think this one's better.
To more Eagles.
This one's definitely better. I think this one's like pretty good actually. Big
The
fan.
amount of overlay on a lot of these like little satellites is just absurd.
It's awesome.
Rubio
That's
tells
the
me.
K
Rubio
Fallon
tells me
thing.
9 seconds left. Hurtful.
It's been a theme all season.
I mean, I didn't say he was good at it, Mangone. He's got to work on it, like Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
I keep it to myself. No, I'm playing.
Jeez, you're no K Fallon.
Selfish.
K Fallon is my champion for the satellites. But listen, that is it for us. We obviously hit the lock time. We got JSU here. JSU, what other? I mean, we had a long week. What content we got tomorrow, right? You're the guy who you set up the shows and stuff. We got the showdown show, right? It's Big T, Chris Randone. What else we got on the schedule tomorrow at JSU?
Yeah, we got a review show. Me, Tambo, and Kevin go on at 11 a.m. tomorrow. We'll review the slate, main slate, showdown slate, talk a little showdown for Monday night, and then Tony, Randone, JT Hayes, they'll come on around 3 p.m. Eastern time and give you the full showdown breakdown for Monday. And then we got Hoops, 445, a hardwood show. That's free on this YouTube channel. And then we got the Up to Lock show. Me, DC, and Kevin again will be answering everyone's questions up to lock for NBA. So, yeah, if you're not a member, get in and get in the Discord. Check it out.
Yep. Get in, check it all out over here at Rum Pure Sports. That's going to wrap it up for us. We got to watch this Eagles-Packers game. Hopefully it's better than watching like Broncos and whatever else is on Showdown we watch, because sometimes those are ugly.
It's going to be a good game, Mangone. I have a feeling it's going to be a good game.
It's going to be a fun game. I'm excited to watch it. I'm excited. I got it written down here. 5-1 Eagles, too easy. Rubio dime. So be sure to we'll go back to the notepad next week and see how that works out for us. For me, Mangone, Kurt, Rubio, Megan. We'll see you guys later.